You're listening to a Loot Dummies podcast, lootdummies.com. Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons and Dummies, a weekly podcast following a group of friends as they battle across a homebrewed world called Antiriath in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Step into the mystical world of Antiriath and follow as our party of dummies adventure across the lands. Tolly Grug, half orc, half fighter, the Mystery, played by Taylor, the Eclarian Shadow, half elf ranger from the Eclarian Mountains, played by Seth, and a Learlock Bloodhair, a Harengon cleric, played by Joey. Last but not least, the creator of our beautiful world, the man of many voices, and our dungeon master, Sam. Look at that dead dragon.
Look at that bad dragon.
Nope.
No, I really don't want to.
What?
I wish they didn't exist.
Bad dragons? What's wrong with bad dragon? Look, that is the epitome of a kink that should not be shamed. Just good, wholesome, giant dildos.
Shaped like monster appendages.
Yeah. Nobody's getting hurt. No actual animals.
I'm not too sure about that.
I don't know if that's an accurate statement.
I actually would argue that they are.
They're definitely can't be good for you.
They're most certainly getting hurt, actually.
There may be damage.
No non-consensual hurting is occurring.
That is fair.
Closer to accurate, at least.
I'll give you that one. I'm not sure that that's 100% either.
Oh my god.
So, I can give y'all a recap if you want.
Oh, don't tease us. Give it to me, baby.
I was waiting for the caveat. There was a butt coming.
Oh, man.
I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm edging.
Oh
my god.
Pause.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
What?
Okay.
I'm going to start using, instead of like pause and AO, I'm going all the way to Gen Alpha. I'm going to start using Skibbity and...
Oh, don't.
I'll leave.
What was
this
the...
party
that's the only one I can
never
remember.
return.
Skibbity.
Oh, I'm a Sigma. I'm mewing. Have y'all seen all those?
I haven't heard that one.
You
What's
better
mewing?
not. You better not be mewing.
What does that
You're
mean?
gonna choke to death.
I'm mewing.
Is that like meowing?
No, it's mewing. That's when you suck
I'm trying to be a Sigma Chad.
I'm slowly losing brain cells.
It's when you stick your tongue to the roof of your mouth and
Listen,
raise your
say
double chin up into your lower jaw so that it looks like you have a more prominent jawline.
That's what all the Sigma Chads do.
What
their
the
profile
fuck did you
pics.
just say?
Sigma Chads.
What Seth just described? That's a real thing.
You
Th-
can't
this
be a
is the
little
worst.
skibbity beta bitch. You gotta be a Sigma
God.
Chad and mew for your profile pics.
This is the worst thing I've heard since I learned about soaking, and I'm not even kidding.
It's,
What about jump pumping?
I'm still
What?
not convinced that soaking is real. I'm still not convinced it's real.
I think
I
it's one of
don't-
those things where it's
I
like
don't think soaking
a
is
small
really real.
subset of a small subset has participated.
I
and
think that
and
it's
that's
like
it.
I've
it's
done
like
it.
Yeah, but when it's a kink, it's different.
it's not a kink, it's a loophole.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If you're doing it because you want to reenact the song about the little red panties to pass the test, then that's a different thing.
What?
Oh.
How do I get back to the place where you said I want something else? Anyways, and then there's a part of it where it says, how do I get back to the place where I fell asleep inside you? It's the song about crystal meth. Wake you up before you drop.
I need to read
Don't
the
stop.
lyrics to that song. I love the song. That's classic 90s, early 2000s
Yeah.
song.
Well, at
There's
one
no
point,
place for song
so-
lyrics in the silo.
he gets high and falls asleep inside of her at one point. Crystal meth will lift you up until you drop. Don't stop.
Wow, and
Yep,
here I
on the
was
feeling.
at 10 years old singing along to My Little Heart's Content. I never knew that's what it said. I must have just made a word up for that part.
Yep.
All right, let's play some D&D.
You don't want to talk about meth lyrics? All right.
Are we not Gen Alpha anymore? Thank God.
No, we're not Gen Alpha anymore.
Talik is now, going forward. He's got Skibbity Riz.
You do realize that as the DM, I can just,
Man,
how
does someone just walk away? Can I
don't
just
worry. Don't.
Okay.
Don't. If that happens, Talik will
Sam's gonna
survive the session.
Lurlock's gonna go retire into the woods.
Oh,
That's not very Sigma of you.
My God.
That's some beta activity right there.
That's beta.
Oh my God.
That's beta AF.
Please
Bam.
give us a recap.
Holy shit!
I've never
Give
wanted
us
to recap more.
and Skibbity speech.
Oh, please, a mother of God, do not.
You got this.
Do
Okay.
not do that.
Okay, Skibbity Riz. Skibbity Riz on the glizzy.
Give me a
Jesus
Skibbity
Christ.
recap.
I'm gonna deafen real quick.
Go ahead and get your mewing down. Stand tall for your PFP because I'm gonna Skibbity Riz your glizzy right out of your pants.
Kill me now.
Oh, that's a Sigma chat if I've ever heard one. Lay it on us.
Oh my God. Okay.
Are we gonna get arrested for this?
We should. We should.
I really don't know what Skibbity means. I just know that's one of them.
Oh, I can tell you.
Tell
I
me.
don't want to know.
Educate me.
Transforming back to millennial speech. Okay.
Millennial speech.
Yeah, that's
So just
what we
regular
are.
talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I mean,
Sweet.
Oh, I
Speech
thought you
is
were saying
different
that's
from
what
boomer
Skibbity
speech.
was. Transforming back
Oh.
into millennial
oh,
speech.
no, Seth
No.
was just going through. He was
Skibbity
just announcing
toilet.
his transformation like a Power
I'm sorry.
Ranger.
What?
Are you not
It's
aware of
Skibbity
Skibbity
toilet,
toilet?
but I don't know the origin.
What?
Lay it on
Oh,
me.
Man.
What do you mean? You don't know the origin?
Look,
That's it.
You need,
That's
this is
that's,
our
what does it
that's
mean?
it.
Learlock.
Skibbity toilet.
You need to understand and embrace our future.
Yeah, you're the youngest of all of us, Joey.
And what is that supposed to mean?
You're the closest to a Gen Alpha.
You're the
I want nothing to do with the
You should have the
Skibbity
most
Riz
Skibbity
Gen
and
Alpha
the most
Sigma
Riz.
Beta shit.
We're elder millennials. I'm gooning right now, just waiting for this recap.
You're whatting?
Now we have crossed into the threshold of
You're
arrest.
whatting?
Arrest warrants are now being issued.
the
Just
FBI
cancel the
has been
session.
notified.
I'm going
I
to bed.
said I'm gooning.
No,
Yeah, we heard
you're
you.
not. Not
You don't know
anymore.
what that one
You're
is.
done.
Reverse what you just did and ungoon.
Oh,
It's like
that
it's like
sounds
an upset
a
parrot
thing.
that like tells
An
their
upset parrot?
child, yeah, to be like, you just stop that right now.
No
You stop
gooning.
being gooning.
I'm gonna fucking die. Don't you ever do a parrot voice again and say that word at the same time.
No gooning.
Oh my God, I'm gonna throw up.
Not parrot. What the fuck? Parent, like
I'll
a
be right back.
Oh my, where's he going?
could handle the Skibbity Rich.
So no, my this
Sorry,
hurts my
Joey.
brain.
Brain rot. You've been gooning too much?
My God. No.
That's just like I'm taking a break. Oh my god, this is so bad. Is what makes it so funny to me is we have no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
I really don't know what any of it is. I knew mewing because I was like, this one's so weird I have to look this up. And apparently Seth did too.
Okay, gooners and goonettes, y'all ready for this recap?
Yeah, I'm ready, baby. Hit me with that recap. I'm edging. I'm mewing. Talik's mewing as he
I'm
listens.
muting is what I'm doing.
Yeah, deafen us, please.
So, at the beginning of the previous session, the party finds themselves at the Rising Sun Tower immediately after Shadow is revived from being struck down by Hishinog the White Dragon, and the emotional moment where Learlock brought him back from the brink of the Veil. We hit level 10, do our level up processes at that point. Woohoo, level 10.
Level up, level up, level up. For what it's worth, my highest level 5e character was level 9. So y'all are now higher than I have ever been.
Wow.
It's all new territory from here.
That's horrifying.
What was your highest in Pathfinder? 20, right?
Way to 20. Twice, actually, in Pathfinder.
So
Nice.
Hishinog is dead, and the area begins to warm up, and the clouds begin to break apart, and a beam of light shoots down from the coast up into the refracting lens on top of the Rising Sun Tower, and that also lets Shadow know that apparently his people, from the elf side of himself anyway, are good in the Feywild.
The Solarians.
We find some strange fresh wounds on the dragon across her front limbs and chest and torso and stuff, like she was crashing into things. And Shadow takes a large collection of dragon scales, and we had a short rest, at which point we approached the tower and found Hishinog's hoard, which was 10,000 silver pieces, 7,000 gold pieces, 500 platinum, 9,000 gold pieces value worth of gems, potion, a figurine of wondrous power, silver raven, an iron stone, fortitude, plate armor of fire resistance, which was donned by Taluk. And we explore the tower further, finding a model and drawings of a stepped pyramid with the words Temple of Husin inscribed below it. There were also drawings, carvings of animals around it, and at the top of it was a monkey figure that we suppose may have been Zayas calling the shots, running the show. We also find another letter, second letter, from the mage Sycamore that matches the writing that we found in the Old Moon Tower. We were told about Sycamore from Shadow's mother, whatever her name was, it's Lanya, who had said that Sycamore was the mage or wizard that had lived in the tower before he left. We also found a device that was shimmering and had 3 figures on it. We realized that it was Body Knock, Taluk, and Shadow from the Old Moon Tower. At which point, Shadow steps up onto the device and is able to have some animal speak moments with a mouse at the Moon Tower, and kind of just clarifies that the area is secure. Somewhere in this process, Shadow sends a speak scroll to Bushi to let him know that the dragon is dead. The party tries to see if they can get back into the Feywild, but are not granted passage, best they can tell. The snow is melting, and with the snow melt, the party is able to discern many tracks from all different types of beasts heading east away from the tower. And with the snow melt and everything, the party determines it's probably been at least 1 to 3 weeks since the host left the Rising Sun Tower, we assume led by Zayas based on information communicated to us from Islanya and Elalan. So that brings us to now. It is approximately 6 p.m. on the 43rd of Harvest.
It has been a long day. It's been like multiple episodes on the 43rd of Harvest, because y'all did the Feywild, the Hishinog fight, and all this exploring. So we're talking like 5 episodes. That's crazy. Well, the good news is that the weather has improved considerably since Hishinog's passing. In fact, it's quite temperate and rather pleasant now. The first thing that's going to happen tonight is I'm going to say, what do you guys want to do?
Skibbity.
Nope.
Don't you skibbity.
Pause.
Skibbity rizzed me, daddy. Okay.
Okay.
This needs to stop.
Y'all tell me what you're gonna do before I have an aneurysm. Please spare me.
Okay,
There
so
you what?
You know what.
Enjoying myself. This is what I'm literally actually, as Shadow is, I'm going through my notes, speaking aloud. This is how I process.
Process.
If you want to change the channel, you have to put
Process.
something else into the silo.
No. No, I want you to
we're not
process
gonna ever give our listeners any. What's the word I'm looking for?
content.
Skibbity.
Riz?
Oh my god. Context for the silo. There's multiple silo references in the show.
They'll never get any context for the silo. They don't need to know.
Speaking of
That-
Skibbity Riz, cracking my
Ooh.
second beer.
Oh man, I don't have any
I
beer.
possess 2 silos.
My
One on my
99
head,
medication's kicking
and one
in.
holds my second head.
Hey, yo.
What?
I've got it. I have so much to edit out of this episode. This is going to be an absolute nightmare.
It's not my fault. I know that.
Joey's been trying the whole time to calm.
I'm
The
editing
terror.
out anything that's not Gen Alpha lingo.
Oh, yeah, that's the
Only
problem.
leaving that in.
The problem is when we talk normal.
Okay,
Yes.
so we're supposed to meet Balvag on the 44th tomorrow.
Okay. And how far away
It
is she?
is a day and a half away. So if we left right now, we wouldn't get there until the morning of the 45th.
What was our reasoning other than just to check on her? Was there something else?
He was going to try to make contact with some of the other stone giants to identify what was going on with the frost giants in the Eclarian Mountain Range and collect more information from her kin and meet us back to relay that information to us. The question, I guess, DM, is does Shadow know if Balvag would wait an extra day or so, or if she would leave if we weren't there on that day?
You'd like to think that, assuming she wasn't in any danger, she would definitely wait at least an extra day, if not a couple.
Okay. Shadow is looking at these tracks to the east. He's looking at his map, and he's fully aware of where we are, and he's thinking about the fact that they were supposed to meet Balvag. He's thinking about the fact that he's died closer to pure death than he's ever actually come, no matter how badly he's been hurt. He's kind of weighing on, does he really want to head towards Rumpsvirdi and deal with more Velk of Odin nonsense and tangle with Mech-Zem, or does he want to go back and lick their wounds and kind of try to get a respite from the chaos? So he says, guys, obviously this heads east. We can track where that might mean, but they're going to hit water and it's going to push them south. I say we head south now and go check back with Balvag and see if she's found any information.
Yeah, I'd like to follow up with Balvag and see. I think it's worth checking out. Let me ask you this. After we meet Balvag, do you think we ought to go all the way back to Bilyatok? It's a hell of a journey. Or do we follow our new lead after that? And what's your thoughts on that, longer term?
Let's see what Bushy says back in regards to our last message.
Yeah, did we send him one, or can we send him one?
We sent him one. He replied. We replied again, and we were waiting on his reply to that.
Yeah, well, I didn't write down your second message, Seth. I'm sorry.
Of course you didn't. Okay, so I said tower secure, White Dragon Hishinog dead, continuing to look for clues. And then he responded with something along the lines of, what do you mean dead? Who's dead? Glad the tower's secure. And then I responded with, yes, the white dragon's dead, completely dead. We've slain the dragon. And then I don't remember if I mentioned the Temple of Houston or not.
You did. You said we need to know where the Temple of Houston is.
Okay, that's what.
And that was the other temple, the other structure that we saw along with the 2 towers that we've already visited that were in that lab.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go check on Balvag and see what she found out. I'm good with that. Learlock, what's your vote?
That's fine.
How you doing? That was quite the last couple days we had there. I didn't know you could revive people like that.
It's never worked before. Do you mind if I borrow that decanter for the next journey?
Yeah, sure. It never runs out, and I toss it over to him.
I'm gonna pocket that. I'm gonna be sipping on that for a bit.
We actually should be able to get there in 24 hours.
Yeah. So tomorrow evening,
Yeah.
assuming that you're resting tonight.
Yeah, I think we take a long rest here.
We just find someplace in the woods kind of near the tower or in the tower.
Shadow goes back to the place where we took the short rest and burrows himself back up under a bush in the snow and pulls his cloak of elvenkind up over himself.
Okay. I'll pull my cloak up and do the same.
I'll do the same. Sit up against the tree and have a long drink, and then go to sleep.
Till you pass out. Okay. Y'all wake up the next morning and it's not as warm as it was yesterday. By the evening last night, it was uncharacteristically warm up here in the mountains. Y'all can go ahead and give yourself a long rest.
Morning.
Whew. Feels good to be alive.
It does, doesn't it?
I reckon. So Shadow trudges back to where we left the horses.
So yeah, you wake up the next morning. It's crisp. It's a crisp 15 degrees, windy, but no rain or snow to speak of.
Shadow got up early and brought the horses down, so everybody's horses are here.
Hope you didn't miss me, Revenge.
Yeah, you'll have to hex crawl back down to see what happens. So tell me y'all's rolls. Y'all are traveling back south a couple hexes today.
I rolled a 7 on perception.
15 on survival.
Not 20 on perception.
Ooh, okay. So 7 on perception. Oh man. Up here in the mountains, that's nothing, Talik.
Okay. Ain't shit around here.
15 on survival. So that's just good enough to find enough food and water for one person for one day. And then perception, 26 on perception. As you're traveling, you spot, now that the snow's kind of melted a little bit and the wind's blowing things around, it's getting a little bit icy, but you're able to see that there's all kinds of tracks as you go that kind of head towards Rising Sun Tower. They're not as, funneled like the path that was headed to the east. They seem to just, you'll find a few footprints here of a deer or an elk, a few footprints over here of, some small critters or a bear or something like that. You guys come across a place where somebody else had been camping. You can see that there's a fire ring left behind from like medium-sized creatures, not like a giant camp. There's, some spots that look like they were cleared out for bedrolls. And with a roll that good, you find a little ring on the ground. It seems to be a magical ring. emanating a warmth to it. Why don't you make me a Arcana check? See if you know what this thing is.
11.
So, an 11 is good enough. It's not that hard to figure out. It's just an uncommon item. But it's something that would have been really nice to have found on the way up here. But you guys went around this hex. It is a ring of warmth. While wearing this ring, you have resistance to cold damage. In addition, you and
Hilarious.
everything you carry are unharmed by temperatures as low as minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So whoever's wearing this ring of warmth will not have to consume 2 food on those super cold days.
Ooh.
Feels like a
That's
shadow item.
I know you already have 1 ring on. You can only wear 2 rings, like 1 on each hand.
Yeah, no. So Shadow's looking at this ring and he kind of looking at it, he's like, oh, well, this would have been handy. And he's kind of jiggling the ice stone in his pocket. And he's like, Alirlock, here you go, buddy. I know it's not much, but I owe you one. This doesn't make up for it, but it's a percentage.
All right.
And he flicks the ring over to Alirlock.
It's warm.
Yeah, slip it on.
Is this gonna fit on my fingers? I go to put it on.
It's a magical ring, so it'll actually resize a little bit.
Oh, look at that. Fits just perfect. It's pretty warm too.
Oh yeah, you feel nice and dusty.
Thanks, Shadow.
Yep. Shadow just continues, gets back on his horse and continues moving.
Okay, so you guys continue on. You get to lunchtime, and you don't run into anything hostile by lunchtime. Make it there without any trouble.
Oh, did Shadow find any provisions with that perception check?
No, survival gets you provisions. Perception gets you something associated with points of interest, which was the camp you found. And if you were really well, then you get something special from them. And then the other thing that perception is good for is if there's a random encounter, you have a chance to spot it. And, if it was going to be an ambush encounter, you might can stop it.
So for the second grid, I'll roll survival.
Okay.
22.
15 on perception.
I'll go survival. 7.
Oh no.
I rolled 7 a minute ago too.
I know.
How's everybody doing on provisions? I'm down to 2 food and 5 water.
Oh, really? I think I'm 5 and 5.
I'm 6 and 6.
22 on survival. Find enough food and water for 1 person for 1 day. You notice something else, Shadow, as you're headed that way. As you're headed towards the stone giant tower, you see some tracks of what appear to be giant footprints. They appear to be like booted footprints left behind, kind of running east-west over the mountain ridge in between, Rising Sun Tower and where you're headed at Balvag's position.
Okie dokie.
Otherwise, you guys make it down to the Stone Giant encampment? I don't know what the right word would be for that. Fort? Outpost? Home?
Outpost.
Bob.
The what? Fob?
Bob.
Port operating base.
Oh, well, look at you. So yeah, you guys kind of approach from the north side of this encampment. You can see it off from a distance. It appears to be, pretty still and quiet from a distance, but it looked like that last time and Balvag was here, so.
Shadow is going to keep his wits about him. I guess it's evening.
It is, yeah, kind of afternoon, evening.
So Shadow's going to be on high alert, moving towards the stone giant's home.
Okay. When you'll get about 60 feet away or so, you're almost there. Go make me a perception check.
Perceptione?
Perception. 23.
9.
9. That's not great.
That's skibbity.
Oh my god.
Oh, 6. How's that?
Also real bad. But luckily, you've got a ranger paying good attention with you. You hear some movement inside of the tallest tower, the one that you guys are approaching from the north over here, the one that Balvag was in last time. And y'all are up on the ridge, so you can it lines up with this tall ridge, so you can climb right in.
We hear movement.
Yeah, just like a shuffling around inside of the tower.
Okay, so Shadow puts his finger to his lips, the tip of his finger on the tip of his nose.
Why'd you stop him? You ruined it. It was gonna be
didn't
good.
say
I could feel
anything.
it. You didn't say anything. You just wheeze laughed so hard. You sounded like a fucking Pokemon.
Coughing.
And then Shadow dismounts and sneaks up
Okay.
to the tower.
All right, sneaky boot boy.
I flip my cloak up over my head.
Did I stealth myself?
Yeah. Y'all roll me stealth rolls. Yeah, since y'all are trying to be quiet, the cloak wouldn't actually help you. Just the boots.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
wait like right here and duck
That'll
down
be
behind this bush.
17.
17. What are you doing? Illylock, you going with, or are you staying back?
I'm gonna also stealth, but at a little bit further of a distance.
Okay. Just kind of splitting the difference between everybody. Yeah, I assume you're getting off of your horse.
Splitting the diffie.
All right, so Talik is left with all the horses about 60, 70 feet back.
Shh. I'm consoling them.
Y'all stealth checks are good. So as you get closer, Shadow, you don't hear any change to it. It sounds like somebody's just kind of going through stuff. You hear like the occasional like skitter of pottery and like the rustling of fabrics and just stuff being moved around.
Okay. We stealth checking again.
No, you can roll that stealth check through.
Okay. So gonna move another 30 feet. I've kind of gone into turn base, even though we're
Yeah,
on
that makes
initiative.
sense.
All right. So another 30 feet covered.
Yeah, you slide up. At this point, you can make me another perception check if you'd like, or you can try to like peek in.
Perception check.
Okay.
And they're going, what the fuck is that noise? 12.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to tell. It sounds like a large creature rummaging around. Occasionally you hear the sound of wood getting kind of clattered across the wooden floor.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to sneak up the ramparts and get a look inside.
Kind of toss yourself over the edge and peer in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're able to do so. Just deftly hop up there and you peer in and you catch the glimpse of a smooth gray skin arm reach out and go in the sun for a moment and grab a bottle and pull it into itself.
Balvag, is that you?
You hear, huh? And you actually hear like, oh! And she pokes her head out and she's like,
Oh, Stan, so good to see you. I was starting to get a little bit worried.
Oh, hey, you're alive. I'm alive too, kinda. The creepy guy with the ears hiding back there in the trees brought me back to life. But we killed the dragon.
Wait, what? You killed the dragon? What dragon?
Learlock, Talik, come on up.
Okay, I'll tie the horses up. Head that way.
All right, but I can't understand what you're saying.
You know, the dragon, the white dragon, the one that's been flying around for all of our lives and before that even. Hishinog. She's dead.
That's incredible. Wow, I don't even know what to say. That's here. Let's take a moment. Here, sit down.
And then she kind of like flops up some furniture and turns over some boxes and barrels and stuff so y'all can have a seat, and she pulls something up. You can see that she's got a couple of like large sacks that seem to be like halfway filled with stuff, so she seems to have been rummaging around seeing what she can salvage.
Yeah, so Shadow goes through the whole thing, says, "Stop by and saw my parents. Met one of my other parents that I thought was dead." Explains the Feywild thing. Shows her really, really proudly his cool new halberd and how exciting that is, and the whole time just completely ignoring the fact that Alirlock and Talik don't speak giant, and is talking like they can understand everything and referencing them and being like, "Yeah, remember that one, guys?" And, like patting them on the shoulder and just continuing to explain, arms waving, super animated storytelling of the slaying of Hishinog and the heroics of Alirlock and Talik, and then all the stuff that they found in the tower.
She's just like enraptured, and like at one point, you know, most of the time her jaw is just like to the floor and her eyes are wide open and she's just hearing all the incredible stories. But every now and then you'll get to a part where you're kind of spinning the story and just, you know, in your moment, in your element, and she'll just kind of have like a warm smile as she seems to be, you know, reminiscing and having memories rush back through her head.
Reach over and nudge Alirlock, and I go, "I think they're flirting."
I think you're right. And I'm gonna pull out the decanter and take a swig, big long swig, and hand it back.
Yeah, I hold my hand out, take a big chug.
Oh man. After y'all get done telling y'all's extremely eventful 3-day story, she takes a deep breath. She's like,
Well, I wish I could say that I thought I had some news to share. Oh, that's a lot more to go on than what I've discovered. But I do have some interesting information. I was able to meet up with some other stone giants on the other side of the ridge. They're doing much better than our family here was. But they've also been encountering hostility from the frost giants. They've had to become more mobile, nomadic, moving around to stay safe, but it's kept them mostly alive. They did have a little bit more information about the Jarl and his relationship with this Zaius fellow that y'all had mentioned before. Apparently, this Zaius showed up at the Rising Sun Tower some weeks ago and very quickly became intertwined with the Jarl and caught his ear. I'm not sure what he did to gain his favor, but it seemed to be a very fruitful relationship and alliance for a little while. But there's rumors amongst the Frost Giant ranks that the Jarl doesn't actually trust Zaius and that he's planning on backstabbing him at his earliest convenience. The issue is, as you guys were saying, confirms what the rumors are, that Zaius has left the tower, and indeed, even the rumor that a dragon had taken up residence there is confirmed by those standing before me, somehow miraculously still alive. All that to say, I'm not sure what the Jarl's next move is, or if things will go back to normal, or if he'll become more aggressive and start pushing, but as of right now, we seem to be at a crossroads.
Will the other family of stone giants take you in?
Yes, they said they'd be happy to have me. I just came back here to meet you and collect a few things, actually. I'm supposed to meet them in a couple of days.
Well, do you need any help getting back to them?
No, I think it's better if I go alone. I can move fairly stealthily and camouflage myself if necessary into the mountainsides.
Fair enough. I think we should let Balvag be on our way. What say we forego rest for a bit longer and slip down the mountain to my folks' place before we head back into the warm lands?
I'm assuming you translate what she told us.
Yeah, the pertinence.
What would the frost giants have to do with this whole plot? They're not animals. I mean, why would Zaius be interested in that?
Just, why Zaius would be interested, I couldn't even begin to guess. But what the Frost Giants have to gain is an opportunity to increase their domain power. What Zaius could want, I don't know, it looks like he just wants control to carry out his plan, whatever his plan may be. But beyond that, your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, maybe he was just hoping to have the other giants out of his way in this area.
Yeah. The tower seemed to hold some type of significance for Zaius and whoever his master may or may not be, but maybe Hishinog was simply guarding the tower, or maybe Hishinog just found a nice nest, but she did not look as healthy as one would expect someone of her level of power and strength and majesty to be. Remember all the wounds across her legs, and something was unnatural with that.
Yeah, I think you're right. Okay.
I remembered y'all had sent the speak scroll to Bushi that night. An hour after you sent the speak scroll, you got a reply. It dingled back into your berries.
Dingled!
And
Berries!
it says, "Old Jalal Miko knew the name of your tower. Apparently, it's not just the name of the tower, but the name of a forgotten Asajiski demigod. He's apparently some sort of monkey king that went rogue. Had a pretty decent following for a while, but eventually stopped fulfilling prayers and was slowly forgotten about. The location is going to be all the way out in Asajiski, though. He believes that once you get there, you should be able to ask any religious scholar or monk in the area and get more information."
I've been wanting to go to Asajiski since we got the letter from the Talk Jocko back when we first met each other, Shadow.
You young ones, so adventurous.
The talk what?
The Talk Jocko.
The taco.
What's a taco?
Tacos. That's a Mexim delicacy.
I was listening to one of the episodes the other day, and I love that Maxim is like modern, real life.
Yeah, I'm just filling it in.
Just
filling it in
with like random
canon facts.
modern stuff.
Oh, it was Marco. We play Marco Polo.
But yeah, you play Marco Polo. That's what it was. Oh my god.
So, do any of us know if there's any holy men of Asajiski on this side of the continent?
The most scholarly and knowledgeable Asajiski that y'all know on this side of the continent are probably the ones at the confluence,
Jalal.
which would be Jalal Miku, who is, Bushi said in his letter that's who he talked to get this information.
He's on the ace team.
No, the Asajiski three, that's Jalal and a cat lady that y'all really don't talk too much, and then the Kinku that Shadow plays darts with.
Oh, that's right.
The Kinku.
They might be the ace team, but we're the Sigma team.
They're the beta team.
We're Team Sigma.
They're skippity beta boys.
Oh my god. Alright, Joe, if you want to quit now, I understand. I won't take any offense.
You're not allowed.
I will take a shit at your desk at work.
Oh my god, that's harassment.
You better believe it.
It's gonna hit you with the skibbity riz.
Well, I'm about to hit y'all with the skibbity riz, because as y'all are finishing your conversation with
We're gonna get attacked.
Balvag, the horses start neighing and freaking out outside.
You hear that?
Shadow does not hesitate. He just bolts for Starlight.
Okay,
Same.
so you guys bolt up to the top of the stairs. As soon as you reach the top of the stairs,
They're like just blows a kiss to Dorian from afar. Like, see ya.
Later, nerd.
They're like so cold to his horses.
oh my god.
Oh, you can get another one in town. Don't worry about it.
Oh my god.
I hate everything. I really am taking a shit in your desk now.
Because he let the horses die. Y'all run up to the top of the stairs. and peek out. You see your horses, 30, 40 feet away where you hooked them up. Looking out farther than that, about 120 feet out on the ridge that y'all just walked up,
Oh shit!
you see a huge
Holy
frost
shit!
giant wearing what appears to be just layers of animal furs. He's got like a bear fur on his chest with like a big bear head hanging down around his belt. He's got like this giant kilt on made out of furs and a big helmet with the horns on it and everything. And then standing next to him on either side of him is two other beings that are almost as massive as him, but are not humanoid at all. They are more of the Ursine persuasion, if you will.
My God.
Because they
Your
are
fucking thesaurus words.
because they're huge bears, but something looks off about these bears because he's holding a leash on both of these bears and kind of holding back as they're pulling against him. They're salivating and wanting to lunge towards your horses, and he's holding them back with these leashes, but you realize that the leashes are not wrapped around them, around their neck. They're vines that are coming off of the bears, and he's holding onto these vines that intertwine into the bear's flesh. And we're gonna need to roll initiative.
I'm coming, revenge.
Has Balvag already shown herself?
Balvag is like following y'all up the stairs as you run up the stairs, so she's following right behind you.
Shadow immediately whips back and says, Balvag, stay hidden.
And she'll just like duck. Her head was starting to peek over the thing, and she'll duck down and just kind of glare at you for a moment. She lets out like a little curse in Giant, but she does say, she's like,
This is my fight too.
yeah. So you look across at these guys, and this guy pulls up and straightens his back, and he's holding these bears, and they're just like sniffing and salivating and snarling. And he shouts out, he says,
Hello there, brave adventurers. Welcome to the Clarion Mountains. The Jarl welcomes you with honors and requests an audience with those powerful enough to slay a mighty dragon.
Shadow kind of whispers to his companions, and he's like, we've been invited to an audience with the Jarl. And then he yells out and he says, Hail, noble warrior giant. We appreciate the accolades, but no welcome is necessary, for I am the Clarion Shadow. Perhaps some of your brethren on the bridge have told you about me and my friends.
Ah, Shadow, but in the flesh here you stand.
and he actually like takes a couple steps forward and like lets his bear's reins go a little bit, and they get like a lot closer to your horses. Now they're only like 30 feet from your horses as he's holding them back. Alirlock, you notice way off to the left down the ridge a ways, kind of back towards the main entrance of this place where y'all went up before, where you kind of have to wind through multiple towers to get to the top tower. You spot 3 more frost giants kind of creeping towards the base, and then a couple of them are kind of creeping across a ridge straight towards you guys.
Shadow yells out and he says, if you value your bears as much as I value my horse, you'll hold your position, because if you're an envoy for the Jarl, you are not to attack me or my companions or our steed.
Lads, there's some more friends down below the cliff where we came up before.
We better do something.
I am Thane Udvanik, and I do envoy for the Jarl. But Otso and Karhu, They're just beasts, and sometimes beasts need to feed.
He lets the rope out another 5 feet, and they slide up and just are pawing at the snow. This point, they're like 25 feet away from y'all's horses.
Shadow, we're telling we're about to fucking kill these bears if they don't get away from our horses.
Shadow twists his ring of druid kind and calls out, Atsu, Karnu, are you so lowly at this point in your life that you allow this thing to control you? And he's speaking in Elvish himself to the animals.
Okay. Yeah, so Atsu and Karu, they definitely pause and kind of slow their snarling down a little bit, and they look around for a moment, like they're trying to figure out where the voice even came from that's rattled in their head. Karu, the one on the right, snarls out in what you can only assume a female bear would sound like, and I'm not going to damage myself in order to make those sounds. But she says, lowly, we are the greatest warriors in all the Jarl's company.
And what does the Jarl do for you that makes you so loyal to him to be tied to a leash by this thing behind you?
This thing is our friend. Udvanik is a lovely handler, and we appreciate his guidance to fresh meat. She's still kind of paying attention to you, but Atsu's gone back to snarling. He's really trying to tear away now.
Shadow gives a command to all 3 horses to run.
So as you do that, they all pull back and snap their reins, and as soon as they do, the Thane releases his hands, and the bears start sprinting, and we all need to roll initiative.
We're gonna have to fight these badass frost giants and these bears. Alright, I got a 16.
Sorry,
8.
I tried. Thought we had a chance. My second roll was a 12. First was a 14, but keep the 12.
Okay, so, oh my god. Oh, guys, this is not good. Why don't y'all roll me separate initiative for the horses?
Yep, I was
Because
hoping that
you're
was
not
coming.
with them.
13 for Starlight.
16 for Dorian.
8 for
8.
revenge.
Okay, yeah, that's not good. Okay, so here's the problem. I rolled it Karu and Natsu first, and then the Thane, and all of them, they were 20, 18, 18.
Awesome.
So,
Or Skibbity, or whatever.
yeah, yes. God, help us all. So yeah, these bears are going to sprint up
Not very Sigma of them.
to...
Beta
Each
move.
of them is going to sprint up to a horse. It looks like they're sprinting up to Dorian and Revenge. They're each going to make 2 attacks. We're going to start with Dorian's attacks.
How rude.
He goes to Claw. Ooh, that might be a miss. Oh no, that's not going to be a miss. Their modifier's scary. These guys are very scary. I can't do math right now. 16 to hit.
Yep.
And then the other one is a 13.
Oh, yeah. AC 10.
Oh, AC 10. Oh. Okay, so the claws do 14 damage. And then he bites him for an additional 22 damage.
That's just
36.
rude.
Okay.
As they run up, the vines are like flapping behind them, but they kind of like raise up to the side after they run for a few feet.
Okay. Dorian's alive.
All right, survived one. So now we're going for revenge. First attack with the claws. Oh, it's like a 22.
That's a miss.
Ooh, second attack, nat 1 with the bite, which is the scarier one.
That's actually a hit.
Oh my god, I hate you. This game makes me hate you. 17 damage. With
Oh
the
my
claws.
god, the throwback.
17 damage, alright.
Okay.
Revenge lets out a little moan. Ah.
Wow.
Nobody made you do that. Okay.
I may or may not be high right now.
The thing.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
The Thane walks up casually, like 25 feet or so, and as he does, he bends down and scoops up a rock and kind of tosses it in his hand, and then he just hurls back, and his muscles bulge as he just whoosh, like a fucking just spring-loaded mechanism, like a skeet shooter, not a skeet shooter.
Skeet shooting.
Oh, yeah, ski shooter, baby.
God damn it! He throws a rock at Shadow.
Oh,
Oh,
erotic.
probably gonna be a miss. Yeah, 12 to hit.
Yeah, that's a miss.
Low roll. Okay. That's his turn. He says,
Looks like negotiations are over.
and he lets out a loud whistle, and the other giants starts running as well.
Find out what happens to our party next week. Check us out at dndndummies.com. And please leave us a rating and a review on your podcast app. It would mean the world to us.
That was
Pollock
sad.
Sam
has made
said
a
it.
couple of advances on a few different. I think that Pollock is an
Bisexual.
omnisexual.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
is.
that's fair.
Yeah,
That's
Goats,
classic
men,
classic
I said
rules.
he's the
Women,
most likely to be
tree
bi.
knots. Her
He's
told you about-
pansexual.
Her told you about the
Sorry, did
time
you say
that Tarzan
goats?
lost his virginity to Jane.
Mm-hmm. It's a great one. Have y'all not heard it?
I'd rather not.
I've heard it.